Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more than the meta. So guys, I want to talk about a formation that I've been running a lot online, a particular play on defense that I've been getting a lot of successful picks with, and it's basically cover four palms. I have been using the 2-4 defense, but I recently switched over to basically a 43 defense nickel over. And you're pretty much in the nickel formation. You have all access to all the plays I usually use on defense. I will be sprinkling a little dollar into this gameplay, but I want to show you a play that actually worked really good successfully for me to get a lot of good stops against a good opponent. The guy I'm actually playing against wins 7 out of 10 games. High-level Madden player. I think he's ranked 11,000. And you'll see some of the decisions that he makes. He does very good. So how I've been setting my defense is a little bit different before. Usually I use my base play, which is going to be cover 4 palms out of the huddle. My top audible is going to be cover 3 hard flats. In my bottom audible, I want to go ahead and use basically cover 6. And the other audible I'm going to use, which essentially is going to be cover 9 show. I want to have hard flat matching principles, and I'll be able to flip flop from each different sides. And it just provides me a little bit better run support in case I expect someone who's going to run a heavy set against me. Out of the huddle, I'm going to use basically cover 4 palms. This is going to be the base play that I'm going to use, and I have specific setups in certain types of situations. But for the most part, I want to make sure that I protect myself against any kind of deep balls or corner routes and stuff like that. So I do have specific setups and adjustments that I make with cover 4 palms. But once again, I'll be jumping around in different types of plays. Now you can see I've got basically the strength of the formation over here. So I'm thinking immediately he's going to stretch off to the right. So what I do like about the over defense is that you can shift your entire defensive line over, and then you also can rotate your linebackers to either side of the field, so you can really get a lot of leverage against the run. So I think in this situation what I did is I jumped into basically cover 9 because I want this guy to come down into a run fit. Now I know this guy's in limbo, but that's okay, and I'm going to use her usually if I can jump on this guy in enough time. I'm going to use her to this guy and take away any kind of run to the outside. This opponent is really good. He quick snap plays. He made really good reads, really good decisions. There's going to be a couple situations where I got away with it, but you can see how I shifted my guys over here, and I don't want him running off to the right where he's got the strength of formation. I want him coming up the middle of the field where he's got basically 2 blockers, 3 blockers, and I've got people that can run fit, including myself, against this guy. So I want to make sure I'm not getting overloaded by running. He runs the ball up the middle of the field, and I'm able to go ahead and tackle him for a 2-yard gainer, which essentially, when it comes to defense, that's a win against a run. If you're not giving up 4 yards or more against your opponent, you're winning against a running game with defense. So I think he goes with the same play again. Once again, you can see how I'm shifting my guys over. I want to take away the stretch. And then what I'm going to be doing is looking for any kind of routes that come over the middle. I'm not really worried about these guys beating my safety deep. I'm more or less worried about anything that's going to, I've got a flat route and anything coming over the middle. And my responsibility is to take the high route against that route. So you can see I'm carrying right here, and actually he throws into matching coverages right here. And it's bracketed. I had a guy above him and below him. He tries to squeeze it in, and I get my first interception, I think, on the second play of the game. And I'm in autopilot against this guy. So this guy actually had a really good defense. He held me to 3. He was making adjustments. He wasn't really running a lot of vanilla stuff. And as a result, I only get 3 points on it. But I'm up by 2 possessions, and that's where you want to be at. He's getting the ball in the second half, so it's critical that I don't let him take the lead going into the half. So I've got to make sure I get some stops on defense and stay in front of him. So this is one of the adjustments I'm doing with the dollar defense. I'm going to go ahead and take my bottom audible and actually go ahead and put in basically a cover 6 show 4. So that means I've got some matching. I've got a box on this side, and I've got a triangle on this side when it comes to matching principles. But I'm really going to be using primarily the cover 3 blitz, which is a pretty popular play, and then I'm also going to be using cover 2 as my adjustments. Now he comes back in a single deuce close. This is a formation. He was running deuce close against me, and I had a hard time with this formation. He was carving me up on the ground. He was setting me up with some nice little crossing plays and stuff like that, screen plays. So this is a formation he should have stayed in. I would say he probably should have ran this the entire time. Typically what I like to do is I like to run cover 6. I've got a deep half. I've got a zone flat, a deep half. I'll user this guy, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my outside guys and actually man these guys up. And the reason why is I'm expecting some type of a route combination where these guys are crossing, and I want to take away those reads and force them to check things down. But this guy was a run first person. He stretched. I had a defender right there, Chase Young, and we're all stretching, all going to the outside for the stretch. He's able to go and flip it back and find a hole out of nothing to pick up 9 yards. So that should have been a 1 or 2 yard loss, and it was a situation where he basically picked up a first down. And I discovered quickly that this guy's willing to run in the middle of the field. So he'll do dives right in the middle of the field and take the yards. He's a very hard player to play against, because anybody that runs the ball and then blends it in with the pass is very difficult to stop. So I think I've got cover 3 blitz, and basically the way this is set up is I want to have some pressure coming in, and I'm going to use this guy. This guy's matching. I've got a deep third, matching deep third. So over here. So where is my 3? I'm using this guy. This is my 3. This is the guy I've got to relate to and make sure I get out to it. I've got the blitz set up. I've got to contain. I don't get out right away. He checks it down to the 3, and that's really not a bad. That was a good play design, because if I would have chased the 3, he would have had a drag wide open over the middle of the field. So that was a good play by him, good play design, and he checks down to the flats. Just this guy is a good player because he steals yards and he exposes leverage. So he just takes what the defense gives you, and he doesn't really force things in. So right here I've got basically a 2 tight end set. I've got this guy into a flat zone, so he's in a run fit. And what I should be doing is just shifting these guys over just to take away the run from this side and force him to go to the weak side. I don't think I had a chance to set things up quickly enough. You can see I was still shifting my guys over. When he actually runs the off tackle, he gets a nice little block right here and actually gets a 10-yard gainer. So he was quick snapping man runs, and I don't want to get out of the nickel defense because those match principles are very difficult to stop, and I haven't really played around with the 43 defense at all, so I chose just not to do that. Empty Y slot. A formation I'm using exploring essentially is the cover 3 cloud, and basically what I do is I take the edge defender over here where the cloud is, I put him in a seam flat, and then I user this guy right here. So let's go ahead and see if I actually got a chance to set that up correctly. So my goal is to take this guy and actually put him into a seam flat, and I should roll this guy over or man match. But unfortunately, I'm in this guy right now, and I'm just trying to. This opponent would just quick snap things really quick. So I did press my guys. I'm trying to get on my user, and I don't man align correctly. And right here, I'm actually trying to user in the middle of the field, and he dots me up. That's a great read. Like I've got 3 defenders right here. I've got another defender. I've got another guy, basically rolling, and he's able to find the gap in the defense with a laser dot. Just a good decision by him. That's just a phenomenal decision on that smash route. And I think he just ran the play stock. That was just a stock smash. He ran it, and he found the seam, and he just hit it against my defense. So back to the deuce close again. Once again, I like to go ahead and take these guys and go ahead and man them up. I'm going to user this guy down in the box. And this is where this deuce close was just driving me nuts. I'm trying to set this defense up. I press my guys down. I'm trying to get my guy down in the box, and look how his offensive line just manhandles my defense, and he's able to go and pick up 7 yards on that. And when you start giving up 4, 5, 6 yards, 7 yards, 9 yards on a run, it becomes very demeaning to you. Defensively, you start really struggling about it. So right here, I do the same type of a defense, and what I'm doing is I'm boxing things up. And then I realize really there's no crossing routes that can get really that deep at this depth, because he's inside the 10-yard line. He's in the red zone. So I think I try to check out of my defense with my adjustments right there, and he actually goes into this play, which essentially is just a a boot play, checks it down to this route. He's going to come back to this again. This is a play that he would use in short down and distances and pick up easy yardage. So this guy's making really good decisions. Now I go ahead and decide to go ahead and jump into a dime defense. I want to close the box up. I want to put these defenders down and then basically go ahead and put these guys in cloud flats. I should be rolling down these guys. I should be coming into a different defense, but I'm just trying to set this up against them more than anything else, and I try to shoot the gap. I try to take away this route, and he just quickly just says, okay, I'm just going to go run behind this defensive tackle. So guy had really good stick, really good anticipation of taking away gaps and stuff like that and run fits, and he actually picks up a touchdown on that series. So he's kind of in autopilot. Now he has an opportunity to go up on a score against me. Jumps into spread formation, and right here I'm going to be hitting him up with the blitz, but I switch this up into a cover 2 version of it, and I'm going to go ahead and drop this guy into a deep third, and then I'm going to user this guy right here. So these guys will match if they go vertical. He'll match if they go vertical. He'll match if he goes vertical, and they'll match if they go vertical. So they're all going to match up. My responsibility, if I'm using this guy, is to play the 3, and I've got this going deep half, and I've got a third going right here. So that's how this defense is set up with this defense. So right here goes with an off tackle. Once again, he curves back. He basically would just watch everybody just go off to the wide side of the field, and as a result, he'd actually just cut things back and pick up a good 6 yards. So this guy's a really smart runner. I think I go ahead and jump into it. Now I close up the box a little bit. I want to force him to the outside. I've got guys down in the run fits in this type of situation, and he actually does an off tackle run. But look at the manhandling. These guys just manhandling my guys. Because I only got 3 run fits right there, and as a result, he actually does that. So now I'm thinking, okay, if he's running these deuce formations, he's got 7 blockers essentially to my 3 defensive linemen. I got to get out of this defense. So I think I go and jump into cover 4 palms, and now I go ahead and clean the box up. I pinch my guys over here, and then I go roll these guys over here. So if he wants to run, he's going to be basically 4 blockers to my 5, and then I've got cutback support right here with my user. So one other adjustment I do too to prevent a fast out route is I'll take my defensive end and put him in a hard flat. Another adjustment I'll do with cover 4 palms is I'm going to go ahead and take this guy and put him into a deep third. And the reason we do that is that what happens is that he gets corner route responsibility. So if a corner route actually comes out here, he's going to take away that corner route. I would rather have my opponent basically try to get things back over the middle of the field than give up like a corner over on the backside. So that's why I do the deep third. If I leave it as is, what happens is this guy's going to meg up, and if he does a drag route, it's going to leave this area wide open. So that's why I actually put a deep third with palms as one of my adjustments. So now I'm down in the box trying to protect against any kind of run. He does do a base play, and he's waiting for his blocker to get across, but you can see I'm able to go ahead and tackle him for one of the biggest stops of the game, which essentially is a 1-yard gainer for him because he's just been shredding me on the ground. No huddles. Inadvertently, I think he picks up the wrong no huddle, and then he actually takes a timeout right there. So now he goes into basically a double set. I really don't have a defense. I don't have a defense set up for this. I really don't have to anticipate it, but I definitely need to have at least 6 guys in the box to defend against his run. So I go ahead and close up the box right here. I get an extra defender out here in the flat because he's got the strong side of the formation over here. So if he's got some guy who does a flat or he's got like this, I want to basically take away that extra wide receiver. Drop down to the box right here with my user. And then right here actually tries to hit me with an angle play, and I've got Warner just sitting right in there. So that was just a terrible read by him. But I'm able to go ahead and get another stop with him with cover 4 palms and just making sure that I had a lot of support, pass support on that side on the strong side of the field. So now we're in the second half right here. This is an opportunity for him to go up on a score, and he's got the strength of the formation right here. So I want to go ahead and make sure I shift my line off to this side, take my linebackers and shift them off. And I like to run a cover 6 in this type of situation because This guy right here is really not a threat to me. I'm not really worried about him unless the opponent does a deep comeback route, which most Madden players do not have that in their scheme. So for me, I'm not really concerned about it because it's very uncommon to do that. So here's my defensive setup. Now he actually comes back to the crosser. This is my primary read. I got to watch this guy coming across the middle of the field. But what he did is he had a nice little flat route underneath it, putting my one defender in limbo. He actually pulls in a little bit. He matches up against the other guy on top. And as a result, I have to check down. He actually picks up 7 yards on that play action route. So you guys may have seen this play before, play action X burst cross. It's a difficult play to stop, but once you figure it out, it could be a good, it's not the best play in the game. So now he's actually got basically the same type of a set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this up once again. Probably a smart adjustment with the way this defense is set up is take this guy and put him in a flat zone. That will actually protect against the same route. But I think I ran this play stock. He goes with a run play. It finds the gap. Just really, really, really good patience with this guy. So he just runs the ball. Empty Y slot. I think I go into cover 4 palms. And I'm going to go ahead and bunch these guys up and put these guys in contains. I'm going to user this guy, and then what I have to do is relate to the 3, which I think is this guy right here. And that's my responsibility. Another adjustment too is I also put these guys into deep thirds. But if I leave these guys stock, what they'll do is they meg up, or they meg up on these 2 guys, and they're going to come down and bite on that, which could potentially, if you have a smash concept, something like this guy will bite down and take this, and the smash concept can be open, because if this guy actually carries a little bit, he's got to come back and bounce. He usually gets himself out of position. So with palms, you're going to be very conscious of what can happen with palms is that you can give up a smash concept if you're not prepared correctly. So that's one of the adjustments you want to do. I don't think I made the adjustment with the cover 3, and as a result, he actually tries to hit the smash, and I'm able to go ahead and get basically an incompletion. So it's something you got to be very conscious of. Now I go back into this blitzing play, and I roll into cover 2 once again. I've got a cover 3 out there, and he just checks it down. This guy was just like, I'm gonna take away any kind of flat routes from him and just check it down. So cover 4 against here. I think what he's doing is he's doing a delayed routes, and he's got a route that's going to be going over the top. He's got another route coming over here, another route coming over here. So I've got contains going down, and this is where you really appreciate some of the things your opponent does. He sees a hole, he just takes off. So now I'm like, okay, now I got to put a spy up with one of my defensive tackles, because he's just going to go in and take off with the ball if he does that. So back to the deuce close. I think I stayed with palms in this type of situation. It'd be shifting my guys over. I got a little bit better run support right here, and because he actually has to go out wide, my safety came down and played that correctly. But we did hold him to a 2-yard gainer in that type of situation. So I think there's a little frustration with him with the running game. Now I go ahead and jump into basically the cover 3 blitz, and one of these guys are going to get in really quick. Now I want you to point something out. I've got hard flats out here with the anticipation I'm going to take away a hard flat. If he does any kind of a corner route, this deep zone's going to get it. He does the deep corner route, this deep zone's going to get it. And if his smart read is going to be right over the middle of the field or anything else. My responsibility is I'm using this guy. This guy is going to be my responsibility. So wherever he goes, I just got to peel out of that area and take that away. So I get the luckiest animation. I never get this type of stuff. He actually throws the ball to me, and I actually go ahead and click on and actually get a user pick in that type of situation. He just threw it right to me, and I'm able to go and pick it off because he was checking it down to flat routes, the running back routes left and right. So get a really lucky pick right there in that type of situation. The result, I save the game in the sense that I went in the second half basically up by a score. So here we go. We're in a situation right here where I'm up by a score against them. and he needs to get the ball down in the end zone to make this into a game. As a result, I get a little tackle situation right there. I go back into the blitz once again. My responsibility when I'm using this dollar defense is to match this guy right here more than anything else. And I'm expecting the blitz to come in fairly quick. So right here I'm matching, trying to get underneath it. I get a blitz right here. So I'm watching a blitz. I'm anticipating this guy to get hit with a blitz. My blitzer actually falls on his ass. I peeled away, and he just basically dotted me up on my man. So the reason, because I looked at the blitz, is the reason I actually gave that play up right there. So that probably should have been a situation where it should have been a sack. But when you play with a player like Buffalo's quarterback, you're going to get those situations, anchor to that type of situation where you can a blitzer can hit him and he's going to knock him off and still make a play down the field. So that sucked a little bit, but it is, that is a part of the game. Right here, I think I'm dropping up one of my guys into a deep zone, playing cover 2, and right here I come across and look at it, he just takes off this quarterback. So I took away his reads and immediately goes ahead and runs with his quarterback, taking the middle of the field. So I think right here I go and jump into it, and then I close up the box against him, and then I think I might have put this guy into a spy, I believe. I think that might have been the adjustment I'm doing. Yeah, I've got this guy in a spy right here, and I'm taking away his 3 route, and he's trying to carry with that route right here, and he's just letting the routes develop. And look at the patience on this guy. There's a lot of players, once you get into like 3 or 4 seconds into a play, they're just not going to wait for the wide receivers to break open. This guy was really smart, really patient. He's been playing. He's got over 400 games underneath his belt. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's been in these type of situations before, based on his patience right there. So I quickly realized, like, I'm gonna bind right here. If I can't just run coverage the entire time. So right here I actually go ahead and hit him with cover 4 palms. He huddles. I'm gonna go ahead and slide my guy. Slide my guys off and do a contain type of situation. He doesn't know where to go with it. I get a nice little block shed against this offensive line. I actually get him in a 3rd and goal. And then I go ahead, same defense right here. My responsibility is the number 3. I do have safety help over the top. And I think I got these guys in a contain, and I have one guy into a spy. So if he decides to go and run up the middle, I've got a guy that's going to be out there. So spies right there. He actually throws into the seam. Perfect read, but because I had a defensive back over there, over the middle, I'm able to go ahead and make a pass deflection and actually get him in a situation. And without hesitation, instead of actually trying to go for it and lose it and have a potential to lose the game, he kept himself alive. Because look at the score, 17-7. He just needs to get one stop, and then if he can score another touchdown, he could tie the game up. Or actually potentially win the game if he decided to go for 2. So he actually kicked the field goal because he knew he needed these points regardless of the situation. So he smartly goes for it. I'm trying to go ahead and down the ball. I want to go ahead and kneel the ball. But my guy jumps and then jumps again. And I'm like, oh shit, I got to run. And then all of a sudden I get a safety. I don't know what the hell was going on with that. But he got a safety. For me actually doing that, it was really, really frustrating. So I was just laughing at this point. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. All I really needed was basically a first down, maybe 2 different first downs, and this game was pretty much over with. But this guy gets a crazy animation like that where I can't even down the ball in the end zone, and as a result, he gets a safety, he gets 2 points, and then actually gets the ball back. So if he gets the ball in the end zone, the game's pretty much over with. I couldn't believe it. I was dumbfounded. I was just like, okay, well, I guess when I run this game, I'm going to be running it to show you how I'm running defense. So I was actually kind of excited because this guy's a good Madden player, and as a result, I was seeing this as more of a defensive tutorial video than anything else. So off tackle run right here, cuts it back. I get a nice little block shed with my defensive line. I only give up 2 yards, so this is a win against a run. It's basically the end of the game, and he's still running. You know, most players in these type of situations, they're going to start freaking passing the ball. They want to get down into the red zone territory and not take any risk. And this guy's actually milking the ball with the run. So he's in a heavy set. Once again, I shift everybody over off to the right. I've got a couple of run fits out there. And you can see actually, because I had my defense set up, he only picks up 3 yards on that run. And he's just happy, more than content than anything else. So I go into the cover 3 blitz once again. My responsibilities in this, I think I switched up into his zone coverage, and he actually checks it down to the flat right there, and he gets a 4th and inches against me. Then he goes into cover, basically into the deuce close, and I'm just running cover 4. I'm trying to shift my guys over, and he does this play. So basically, it's a flat drag. And then I think it's a corner route type play off to the right. I'm out of position completely. I'm trying to stop the run. He actually checks it down, and he actually gets the ball out of bounds and doesn't burn a timeout. So win-win-win for him. He basically gets everything he actually needs in that type of situation. He was using this boot slide with great success. And he's just quick snapping that. I've played around with the play. It doesn't work as well as I need it to, as I like it to work for me. Worked like a clockwork for him. So back into it. I'm actually trying to get on my user, and I'm actually clicking around. That's the only thing about playing with a new different variation of the defense. It's harder to get on your user right here. And I get myself, I'm on young right now. I'm completely out of position. And he checks it down to the underneath route. I've got 2 defenders out there, and I burn his first time out. So he's just using shallow crosses. He's just taking everything underneath to every. He's not trying to rush anything. He's stealing yards. So right here, I go ahead and jump into cover 2. I think cover 2. But what I did with this type of situation, I closed up the box and I spied this guy up. I'm giving him the middle of the field. He can hit me over the middle of the field. But what happens is that a lot of these guys, if they go vertical and go over the middle, these guys are going to match right here. So I'm saying, okay, you could go ahead, hit me in the middle, but I don't want to give up any kind of underneath stuff. He checks it down right there with his running back. I'm able to go and tackle him. He burns another timeout. So now he's down to basically 27 seconds in this type of situation. So I go into the heavy blitz right here. And really, he's got, these guys are matched up. He's matched up. He should match up right here. My responsibility is the running back in this type of situation. So I chase the running back. He's got him on like a red zone play, and look what he does as his quarterback. He just takes off this quarterback with Allen. Takes off, gets the first down. I try to come down and tackle him, and right here I get a tackle right at the end zone. And look at this. I get a freaking turnover at the end of the game. You know what? I can't care if this guy gets pissed off that this BS play happened to him, because the only reason he had this ball to begin with is because of a BS play that happened to me. So who cares, dude? I got screwed. You get screwed. It's karma, man. You got to go with it. He's pissed off. He ends up quitting out. And he rage quits on it. So once again, guys, thank you for your support. I hope you picked up some pretty good defensive tips on this. This guy was a really good player. Once again, he won 7 out of 10 games, and hopefully you could see how I play my defense and some of the adjustments I make. But I think about 3 turnovers against this guy and forced him to make really drastic decisions. But he was a really smart player. So thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.